Behind these walls, no end to the nightmare. More than 50 residents now dead at Roberta Place, a devastating outbreak fueled by a variant.
She doesn't look great, and she's definitely not 100%.
Jeremy Taggart's mother, Burl, tested positive, as has almost every other resident and dozens in the nearby community.
It's spread through the whole building. It's a 100% failure.
The specter of more contagious variants spurring new action today from an obviously concerned Ontario Premier.
If these new strains take hold, the consequences will be dire.
The province launching a 6-point plan, including mandatory testing of international arrivals at Pearson starting Monday, screening more positive tests to determine how widespread the variants already are, and deploying more rapid testing kits to high-priority settings like schools. The variant first detected in the UK is expected to be the dominant strain of the virus in Ontario by the end of March. Early evidence says it's more difficult to control and perhaps more deadly. So even as cases are going down now,
it's a race for time, race against time to get people vaccinated.
Following criticism, Ontario has sped up its long-term care vaccination schedule, now aiming to get all residents their first shots by this time next week.
You're introducing something that's essentially turning up the volume.
Dr. Nathan Stahl says that means basic public health measures and a proactive approach from the province are critically important.
It probably has motivated us to do some of the things we should have been doing all along that would have avoided us getting in this mess in the first place.
The variants set to worsen an already bleak projection that this second wave in long-term care will be deadlier than the first. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, joining us now for more on this is Dr. Susie Hoda, an infectious disease specialist in Toronto. Dr. Hoda, there's a lot of concern, as you know, about the variant. So we see all these new measures that have been put in place around travel today. Will testing arrivals at Pearson Airport make a difference, or is this more symbolic?
It might make a little bit of a difference in that we'll pick up some small proportion of people who would test positive and not realize that they're infected because they don't have symptoms. However, it doesn't stop the fact that people might still come in, test negative, and be incubating the virus and then go on to be positive and infect others after that. So really, the most important things that we need to be thinking about here are, again, really discouraging travel right now. It's not the time to be doing it. And secondly, ensuring that those who have to come in for travel related reasons are under quarantine for the full 14 days. And during that time, if they develop any symptoms, they need to declare that, first of all, right away and get tested again immediately.
Yeah, and so just to quickly underscore that in a few sentences, if people actually are traveling for whatever reason and do truly follow the 14-day quarantine, wouldn't that go a long way to reducing the risk of them transmitting it to the wider community?
Absolutely. That's the actual action, right? Testing is a tool that helps us to direct what we need to do. The action here that's really important is a quarantine piece.
All right, Dr. Hoda, we'll talk to you a little bit later on in the hour.